The 1990 championship heralded a new decade in hurling and one with a lot to live up to after an exceptional 10 years gone past. The 80s saw the emergence of Galway and Offaly as major powers, also Tipperary's return to the big time and Antrim's reappearance on the All-Ireland stage after an absence of 46 years. However, the most immediate issue at the start of 1990's championship was who would take the All-Ireland title. Tipperary to retain the Lee McCarthy Cup, Galway to make up for the disappointments of '89, or Kilkenny perhaps to get back into winning form again. We begin our review of 1990 on a day when the crowds came out to watch a Leinster pairing in the home final of the National League. Kilkenny, who last won the title 4 years earlier, up against old rivals Wexford, who hadn't won a league crown for 17 years.
Liam Dunn trying to set up the first score of the match. Roy Coleman here on the 40. Jimmy Houlihan in a run for it. Looking fit and sharp towards Martin Storey. Michael Reck trying to get it up onto his stick. That Storey having lost the hurley. Couldn't kick it, of course, because the experimental rules, which will no longer be experimental very shortly, outlaw kicking the ball away. Picked up beautifully by Liam Fennelly. Magnificent skill. A little tap inside. John MacDonald, however, just couldn't take it in his stride, and Christy Heffernan there exchanging a word and a greeting with one of the Wexford defenders, Willie Barrett, the referee from Tipperary. DJ Carey, Kilkenny's leading scorer, it's gone all the way in! It may well have been tapped in by Christy Heffernan, but DJ Carey, I'm sure, will take the credit. From the free, DJ Carey gets his first goal of the league campaign to add to the 38 points he's already contributed. McClear, about 50 metres out, dangerously in and high and over the bar. Well, he hit two beauties like that the last time that Kilkenny played Wexford in the league match. That's a goal and a point to a point. McClear, beaten by Ger Cody. Flicked on to Martin Storey, a player with great pace, one of the fastest forwards in the Wexford attack. And he's put it over the bar. So a second point for the Slaney men, now trying to find their rhythm. John Parr. A solid clash. John MacDonald trying to get it up onto his stick. Christy Heffernan waiting. Putting it over the crossbar for his first point of the match. That's if he doesn't take the credit for the goal that came a little bit earlier. Eamon Cleary batting it down. Liam Fennelly against Niall MacDonald. Good full-back play. Fennelly the second time, going back and putting it over the bar. Well, he was dispossessed the first time thanks to a nice little flick out by Niall MacDonald, but he stuck to his task and got his point. Paladouar, John Parr. Well called by Christy Heffernan. Such a commanding figure. Menacingly going forward and putting it over the bar. Christy Heffernan's second point. A smile on the face, and that lady's very happy. A towering figure of Christy once again, trying to get some leeway. Nice turn. Liam Fennelly waited in the top of the left position. Struck across towards DJ Carey. Oh, off the middle of the upright. It was a beautiful move. It might well have yielded the second Kilkenny goal. Christy Heffernan won that ball, played it into space to Liam Fennelly. And watch his first touch. Beautifully across here. You'll see DJ unmarked, and the ball comes off the butt of the upright. John Conran having difficulty getting it up onto his stick. The support if he needs it. Paladouar showing just a little bit too much of that to John O'Connor. space outside and people to aim at, like Michael Reckier, who got a goal and a point in his recent clash with Galway, and he's put it over the bar. Well, he came on in that league match against Galway, it was a sensation, and he's won the favour of the selectors again with sharp shooting like that. Scooped back in the general direction of Liam Dunn, but it favours Eamon Morrissey of Kilkenny from fully 50 metres out, high and over the bar. Morrissey's first point this afternoon, and a key one at that, coming in the 25th minute. Wexford hoping to bridge a gap of 17 years, 1973 their last league win. John Parr. Touchdown towards Richie Parr, away by Ger Cody once again. John MacDonald having a very good match. And he's put that one over the bar for the first point of the second half. Yeah, suggested he might have taken a step too many as he went forward that time. They all count. Martin Fitzhenry is just into the Wexford team in place of John O'Connor. So key changes being made. Bill Hennessy sweeping that one out towards John MacDonald, trying to get the ball up into a stick. Larry O'Gorman. Richie Parr keeping it on the ground inside towards Christy Heffernan against Eamon Cleary. Breaks out towards Liam Fennelly, 45 minutes out from goal. Fed forward to Michael Phelan, inside towards Eamon Morrissey. Is there a goal on here? There is! Eamon Morrissey's 6th goal of the league campaign. A significant goal coming 11 minutes into the second half. Well, Morrissey has been in splendid form, getting many goals over the last couple of Sundays. That ball fed forward by Liam Fennelly to the centre forward Michael Phelan, and Morrissey's finishing was right into the far corner. A beautiful goal. That's Roy Coleman. Michael Reckier. George O'Connor thundering forward. Support outside from Martin Storey. Trying to go around Michael Clear on his left-hand side, but he's put it wide. A useful opening, and it's Wexford's 6th wide of the game. Storey understandably annoyed with himself. Well, it's amazing really when you think about it, but we've had 18 minutes of the second half and no Wexford score. And the scars of battle there on the face of Larry O'Gorman. Lester Ryan trying to keep the ball moving inside. That's Liam Fennelly across towards Eamon Morrissey against John Conran. Larry O'Gorman sweeping it out of defence up towards Martin Storey. Storey recovering. For Tom Dempsey. Tom, who hasn't scored, would love to do so. Is there a goal on here for Wexford? Stopped, however, breaking out, and it finally comes out as far as Michael Phelan. There's simply no way through for the Wexford forwards against that tight marking and unyielding Kilkenny defence. Richie Parr. Kilkenny certainly showing the greater appetite and the greater success so far. Larry O'Gorman. Well, hit forward, patted down by Michael Clear. Lester Ryan again, pursued by Ger Cody. Lester really has made a difference since Kilkenny were forced to make some alterations due to the injury of Sean Fennelly. Larry O'Gorman's free. Wexford in a real hurry right now to get scores, and Kilkenny matching them stride for stride, straining every nerve and sinew just now, as John MacDonald is held by Larry O'Gorman and a free in for Kilkenny. That's the angle facing DJ Carey. The shot produces the score. Kilkenny 2 goals and 12 points. Wexford 8 points. in the Royal Liver National Hurling League home final. Martin Storey racing to try and take possession, but it's Lester Ryan who gets there well, stands his ground. In towards Christy Heffernan, Liam Fennelly looking sharp and incisive, good turn. And it comes down off the post, and it's Eamon Morrissey who's having a wonderful day. And another goal. Ted Morrissey complaining that Eamon Morrissey, his namesake, was standing in the square. But that's 2 goals and 3 points for Eamon Morrissey. Now watch where he was as that ball came down off the post. And he was standing just on the edge indeed, so no question about the goal. The goal is valid. So a very happy man indeed, no doubt about that, Eamon Morrissey, the St Martin's man. Jimmy Houlihan going for a goal. Drops down, and it's Tom Dempsey who rattles the back of the net. Well, is it to be just a consolation goal?
Yes, small consolation for Wexford fans as the Royal Liver home final was won by Kilkenny by an 8-point margin at the finish. They were crowned league champions proper in New York a fortnight later. Ironically, both finalists were to fare badly in the Leinster Championship in mid-June. It was a doubleheader at Croke Park, and Wexford were the first to fall to a stirring Dublin performance.
Despite playing against a strong wind, Damien Byrne's puck out, landing just outside the Wexford 45-metre line. Sean Kearns in space, about to be challenged by Ger Flood. But Kearns, using composure and skill, puts Dublin a little bit closer. Wexford 3 points, Dublin 2 points. Sweeps it down towards his right half forward, MJ Ryan. Going on a world tour through Croke Park as Liam Dunn chases after him. Well hooked by Dunn. Sean Kearns calling inside is the left half forward, Murty Ryan, and that is a beautiful point for Dublin. The sides are level in Croke Park. Eamon Cleary, having discarded the helmet, it's going to be a tough afternoon here in Croke Park. Shea Fleming and George O'Connor. Larry O'Gorman giving it back to O'Connor. That's a super point. That's a brilliant score by George O'Connor, the farmer from Johnstown, showing Wexford the way. Here come Wexford again. This is Martin Storey showing pace. Now, has he got the scale to finish it off? A very definite yes, a superb point by Martin Storey, his second point of this Leinster semi-final. And it all started around the centre of the park at the far side, and despite the best efforts of Kieran Heatherton to chase him, look at that for skill, fitness and accuracy. Beautiful point. MJ Ryan sending it up towards Shane Dalton. Good anticipation, but Sean Kearns unable to control it. And Ger Flood is the man who goes back to clear. Comes straight to Shea Fleming. In towards Brian McMahon. Oh, well intercepted by Eamon Cleary, but it's not out yet. It's a goal. MJ Ryan, the man, the Fox man, has finally penetrated the Wexford defence. Look at this again. Shea Fleming sent it in. Brian McMahon was about to rattle the back of the Wexford net, but Eamon Cleary did brilliantly. But look at this. MJ Ryan sending it in. Ted Morrissey unable to control it, and it's a green flag and a brilliant goal for Dublin. The break coming down to Shea Fleming. Dublin playing with great heart and determination. This is Shawnee McDermott trying to sneak in. Break comes to Brian McMahon. He must score. Yes! Goal number 2. Brian McMahon, a magnificent goal. Oh, Dublin are firing on full power at the moment. Just watch this again. His battle with Eamon Cleary is going to have a vital bearing on it, as Shawnee McDermott Broke it inside to Brian McMahon. Ted Morrissey hadn't a chance whatsoever. Brilliant goal. This is Liam Dunn, MJ Ryan. Ryan winning the battle on this particular occasion. Brian McMahon is calling inside, but MJ Ryan goes it alone, and that is another point for Dublin. Dublin 2-4, Wexford 10 points, and yet again in this Leinster semi-final, Dublin and Wexford level. This is Sean Kearns. I don't think Dublin are going to die this afternoon here in Croke Park. They're determined to get into the Leinster final. Kieran Hamilton playing some fancy hurling. Shea Fleming in space. And Shea Fleming with a point. That's brilliant hurling by Dublin. 1 point ahead. There is a buzz around Croke Park at the moment. Can Dublin answer their critics and finally produce a match-winning performance in the championship and a place in the Leinster final for the first time since 1961? John Toomey, an inspiration at left cornerback, sweeping it up towards MJ Ryan. But there waiting for it was John Convent, who's switched to right cornerback at the moment. Michael Reck leaving it down to Roy Coleman. Hasn't really been seen in this match so far. Shea Boland is there. Dublin backs first to the ball every time. Lovely hurling, switching play over to the far side. Chasing after that is one Murty Ryan. Going down on it, John O'Connor without a hurley. And still Murty gets in his shot, and that would be a brilliant point. Oh yes indeed. The Dublin crowd in Croke Park respond to brilliant hurling by this man, Murty Ryan. Look at that for determination.
Determination that was to leave Dublin 2 points ahead at the finish and earn them a place in the Leinster final for the first time since 1964. There they would take on Offaly, who played Kilkenny off the park in the second game, with the best hurling seen in the season so far. There were to be 3 goals and 6 points ahead before Kilkenny troubled the scorekeeper.
Tuck out from Jim Troy, the Lusman man who leads Offaly. And a chance here for Danny Owens. There's a goal here, surely. Yes, there is, by Danny Owens. Danny Owens, the scorer. Offaly fans have happy memories of the 1981 All-Ireland. That's when they won their first final. And that day, Danny Owens came in and hit some great ball from the wing. Well, he came tearing in from the wing here. There was always a goal on. If he could be sure in his touch, he was. Danny Owens again. His confidence high after that goal. And now he's added a point. Good play by Danny Owens. He read it well. He snapped it up well. He shot it over well. John Henderson and Joachim Kelly under this one. Bill Hennessy in a bit of trouble here as off they come raiding. Joachim Kelly, can he get it in? Yes! Joachim Kelly and John Henderson going for it. It slipped through. It went past 2 more men. Joachim Kelly was strong and determined. His eye was good and his strike was excellent. It's all Offaly now. But Brian Whelan, beautiful play. Well on top. In towards Pat Cleary. He'll have to kick this one over the bar. Pat Cleary. He kicks it into the net. The 3rd goal for Offaly in 21 minutes. Pat Cleary getting first run on it. He was trying for the point. He would have been happy with the point, but when he got the second chance, there was a goal there, and he got it. Fahy Regan through towards Joachim. John Henderson. Michael Digny to Joachim Kelly. Will try for the point from out there. It's a long way out, but he's got the point. A great score. The goal will have boosted his confidence. Joachim Kelly calling for effort, but happy with the scoring so far. Good hurling now, sustained effort by both sides. MacDonald sweeps it to Liam Fennelly, across towards DJ Cleary. Great hurling by Offaly. Johnny Pilkington, what a score that would be. Oh, that's a glorious point by Johnny Pilkington. Those first half goals standing Offaly in good stead now. Jim Troy must be a very satisfied man as he gets that ball down towards Michael Dignan, who's had a good match for Offaly. Driven by Pat Cleary in towards Joachim Kelly. John Henderson challenging. Joachim had better get rid of that ball quickly. Cleared out, but only as far as Michael Dignan. Nice turn. With good pressure applied. But it's put in and over the bar. A great score. Danny Owens, I think, the man who got it. Kilkenny badly need scores again. Their lion-hearted goalkeeper, Kevin Fennelly, will drive this ball deep towards his brother Liam. To Richie Power, blocked. Cleared by Roy Mannion. To Johnny Pilkington. His pace a crucial factor. Lovely run by Johnny Pilkington. Can he crown it with a great score? He can! Johnny Pilkington. A quarter of an hour of the second half gone. Kilkenny doing well in the early minutes. A goal, however, for Offaly by Pat Cleary. Cleary, the man who's done it again. Remember 85 in the All-Ireland final when Pat Cleary scored two famous goals against Galway as Offaly lifted the McCarthy Cup. Well, Cleary, he got one in the first half. He's got another one now in the second half.
It ended with a 16-point hammering for Kilkenny, and Offaly were through to their 11th consecutive Leinster final. In Munster, Cork were hungry for a provincial title, and they too had 16 points to spare in reversing the previous year's result against Waterford. Ger Fitzgerald and Kevin Hennessy had a big say in affairs at Semple Stadium.
Having got 1 point in the match to date. Well, he's going for a goal, and they got it on this occasion thanks to Kevin Hennessy. Kevin Hennessy, a goal right out of the blue in the 15th minute. And so Cork go in front for the first time in the match. Now I wonder, was this miss-hit by Anthony O'Sullivan? I'm sure he would have gone for a point, but instead it landed at the feet of Kevin Hennessy, blocked down and into the back of the net. Down towards Liam O'Connor, but bounces off his stick to the waiting Sean McCarthy. Towards Brendan O'Sullivan, not making much of an impression so far on the 40. Sean McCarthy. Cut out by Stephen Frampton. Ger Fitzpatrick. Well claimed by John Considine. Hand pass to McCarthy, his wing-back colleague. Kevin Hennessy, so dangerous in attack, setting up Anthony O'Sullivan here. Played well inside towards Mark Foley, touched on by Ger Fitzpatrick. It's Mark Foley with a brilliant shot, comes off the inside of the post and it's touched in. Claimed by Ger Fitzgerald after Mark Foley had rattled the upright. Cork with 2 goals inside 5 minutes. This was the run by Anthony O'Sullivan. He never quite managed to get it up onto the stick, but played good ground hurling across towards Mark Foley. Watch as that shot came rattling back off the upright. The defender was there too, and whether it was the defender or Ger Fitzgerald who got it, Fitzgerald's claiming it. Ger Fitzpatrick is the free taker. Batted down well by Liam O'Connor, but nobody coming in to pick up the ball except Jim Cashman of Cork. Mark Foley setting up Brendan O'Sullivan. Still O'Sullivan. Just needed a touch inside, and Kevin Hennessy has got another goal. Well, he was unmarked. That's 2 goals and a point now for Kevin Hennessy. Brendan O'Sullivan held the ball forward, got into some trouble here, but look at the slack marking inside as the ball broke away from Ger Fitzgerald to Kevin Hennessy, and he found the back of the net. Timmy Sheehan sees that one sailing over his head. Mark Foley once again raiding dangerously from Waterford's point of view. Inside to Ger Fitzgerald, and the 4th Cork goal. Fitzgerald 2 goals, Kevin Hennessy 2 goals. 6 minutes into the second half. Well, at this stage, you have to feel it so early in the second half that Cork could well run up a very big score indeed. Wasn't hit all that terribly well, but when Fitzgerald picked it up, he unleashed a powerful drive high into the roof of Jimmy Power's net.
Sweet revenge for Cork after last year's upset against Waterford. A week later, Tipperary travelled to the Gaelic grounds in Limerick, where they had their work cut out against a well-prepared home side. Tip, playing against 14 men for much of the game, had to improve dramatically in the second half.
Giving it inside to Nicholas English. Tipperary in a dangerous position, sweeping it across to Declan Ryan. It's there! A goal for Tipperary! Declan Ryan from Clonalty Rossmore has hit the back of the Limerick net. And this is how it came about. Nicky English again, sweeping a ball right across the face of Tommy Quaid's goal. Declan Ryan controlled it, and then bang, right into the net. Great goal. Joe O'Connor played with Ballybrown in the All-Ireland Club final earlier this year. This is Declan Carr. Running into space is Declan Ryan. His confidence boosted now. And there he puts the icing on his own personal cake, as Declan Ryan now has a goal and a point to his credit. 15 minutes left in this Munster Championship clash, and really nothing between the sides. Declan Carr. Michael Galligan staying right beside him, switching play over towards John Leahy. Inside is Pat Fox. This is Fox. Back to Nicholas English. And really, there is no way you can give a man like Nicholas English room like that. The ball left inside by John Leahy came to Pat Fox. And there, waiting for it, was Nicholas English. And he now, as you can see, slapped that one over the bar. That's 7 points for Nicky English. Joe Hayes and Declan Carr forming a formidable partnership at midfield. Dinny Ryan showing that he too deserves a place in the first 15. This is John Leahy. And that goes over the bar. And that's his second point of this Munster Championship semi-final. And now for the first time, Tipperary's advantage numerically beginning to create openings in the Limerick defence, as John Leahy had all the time in the world to put that one over the bar. Declan Carr to John Leahy. Michael Cleary inside, and there's plenty of Gaelic ground in front of him, and from that angle it's no problem whatsoever to the man from Nina. Tipperary 118, Limerick 14 points. Are we going to have a titanic finish as Limerick try and create something? Colin Bonner going back, clearing the danger. Oh, magnificently gathered by Pat Fox, bearing down on the Limerick goal. To his left is Denny Ryan. This must surely be it. And that is unquestionably it. Denny Ryan, the publican from Bird Hill. There'll be drinks galore tonight. Because now, undoubtedly, Tipperary are through to the Munster Hurling final on the 15th of July.
Tipperary had 6 points to spare at the finish, but it was a match that they were glad to get out of the way. Back to Leinster and a unique pairing in the final in July. Offaly, no strangers to Croke Park in the last decade, against Dublin, last seen in the provincial decider 26 years before. Now the Dubs were to keep pace for 20 minutes, but they gave best in the end.
Half blocked down by Wheelahan. Clearance completed. That's Jim Ling. Shorty McDermott, busy in the action so far against Brian Wheelahan. And it's over the bar. Dublin's second point is scored by Shorty McDermott. And that's the first point, of course, to come from play. McKeown bats it down, but only as far as Dáithí Regan, turning neatly on his left-hand side, and the sides are on level terms. A lovely turn, nice tight control by Dáithí Regan. It'll be Johnny Pilkington to take it. Down towards Mark Corrigan, that tidy economical style which saw him score 3 goals and 7 points in last year's Leinster decider, and here he gets his first this afternoon. Into space, Shane Dalton racing up for it against Johnny Pilkington. Good looking move this, but the ball will have to be played in soon. And finally it's booted high and over the bar, and the sides are level yet again, third time in the match. Shane Dalton creating and finally putting it away. Touched on by Shane Dalton. Jer Coughlin goes back, covers so much ground. Read well by Danny Owens. From way out the field, it's got over the bar. From inside his own 65-metre line. Danny Owens, who's hit many a good point in his time with Offaly, has once again pushed them into a 1-point lead. Shea Boland, Kieran Heatherton taking it in his stride, fed inside towards M.J. Ryan. A good opening here for Dublin. Blocked down well, however. Brian McMahon. From the tightest of positions, Brian McMahon puts it over the crossbar for his first point this afternoon and cuts it back to just a 1-point differential. So Kieran Heatherton once again with the free for Dublin. Low, missed by a number, but got by Brian McMahon, and he's put it over the bar. So just a point between the teams once again, thanks to the incisiveness of Brian McMahon. Brendan Kelly lets it drop over his head. M.J. Ryan applying some pressure. Eugene Coughlin there with Jer Coughlin. Brian Wheelahan towards Michael Dignan, just nudges it forward, touches it on towards the totally unmarked Pat Cleary. A scoring chance here for Offaly, taken by Pat Cleary, and once again there's a 2 points difference in this match. Pat Cleary will be very pleased to get off the mark and get his first point of the afternoon. Here's Danny Owens. Nobody able to get in a decent shoulder, and Danny Owens has got a point for Offaly. That's the second one in this first half to extend Offaly's lead, and that's the first time in the match they've led by 3 points. Shea Fleming of Vincent's being willed on by the Dublin fans here as he takes in a delightful cut towards Brian McMahon. Can't hold it, however. Eugene Coughlin back on the campaign trail in the championship once again. Up towards Dáithí Regan, showing pace It's Michael Dignan, in fact. Dignan with the pace and control to get inside Vinnie Hogan. Great move, and it's over the bar. A wonderful point by Michael Dignan. He came into the centre forward spot, vacated by Dáithí Regan, and raced forward despite the best intentions of the Dublin backs. Brilliantly cut up by Johnny Pilkington. Plenty of ammunition inside for Pat Cleary to touch over the bar for his second point. Very simple score coming from the sideline ball, and the defence looking a little brittle. Danny Owens again dominating now at midfield. It's been a particularly good half for the Offaly midfield players once they'd settled down after about 10 minutes. Derek Finn misses, and it's put away by Mark Corrigan. The opening goal of the game comes in the 29th minute. And watch for Dublin's number 2 with the red helmet, who missed it completely, and Corrigan was there to snap up the chance. Having missed a chance just a little while ago, he's trying to set one up here for John Toomey, the team captain. A goal chance perhaps, and it's there for Shawnee McDermott. A late goal for Dublin, a goal that puts a bit more respectability on the final scoreline. Dublin now again showing a bit of heart and a bit of fire, but so late in the match. Jim Troy in trouble, and another one. Where is it? It's gone in. Rory Boland gets the goal. 2 goals inside a minute, both of them in injury time, giving the Dubs something to cheer about.
Yes, a last-minute lift for Dublin, but the cup for Jim Troy. And so, yet another Leinster title for Offaly, their 3rd in a row, and the prospect of an All-Ireland semi-final pairing against Galway. Now that same day, the Antrim captain Dominic McGinley hoisted the provincial trophy in Ulster after some stout resistance by Down, and they too look forward to the All-Ireland semi-finals. But who would they meet? Well, the focus switched back to Thurles to decide who would win out in Munster.
And the 101st Munster hurling final is underway, and it's tipped under pressure with Mark Coley advancing. Good shoulder. He leaves it behind, however. That's Paul Delaney getting it forward. Kieran McGuckin trying to stem the tide. Nice pick up by Joe Hayes. Tucked in towards Nicky English. Dennis Walsh going back. And passed it to Shawnee McCarthy. Towards Tony O'Sullivan's wing. Donald Bonner is his marker this afternoon. John Kennedy, Tipperary captain. Declan Ryan, neither side making much headway so far. Jim Cashman, neatly caught. Nice sidestep as well by Tony O'Sullivan. Inside the 45 metres. Cork looking for the opening score. And Tony O'Sullivan supplies it to them. As Cork seek to register their 45th Munster victory this afternoon. Conall Bonner was giving chase, but there was simply no way to stop the Napiershig man from giving Cork the opening point. Back towards Michael Cleary, brought down by Kieran McGuckin. Cleary once again. Expected the ball to come his way. English to try and keep it in play against John Considine. Trying to make a better angle for himself. Floated in. Fox going in there for it. Comes back out towards English. Jim Cashman blocked it down. And it's Conor Stakelin who puts it over the bar. Sides on level terms. Conor Stakelin from Borrisoleigh getting the tip, equalising score. Brendan O'Sullivan, a good pick-up. This is a tenacious performance by Cork in these opening minutes. Ger Fitzgerald from well out the field, and he's put it over the bar, and Cork go back in front once again. Ger Fitzgerald, who won an All-Ireland medal 4 years ago in the All-Ireland final of 1986, took this pass from Brendan O'Sullivan. away on the right-hand side, getting there ahead of his man. Bobby Ryan was floundering as Fitzgerald looked up, spotted the target, and put it clean over the bar. Fox trying to get some leeway there ahead of Sean O'Gorman. The Cork's no-nonsense approach to this game is unsettling Tipperary just a little bit in these opening minutes, but that would have been expected.
Don't defend that, John.
John Madden, stopped by Mark Foley. Sean Kennedy, powerless as Tony O'Sullivan comes forward looking for his own second point of the match, and again he's quite unerring with his finish. Cork leading by 2 points, 3 points to 1. Pat Fox. Everywhere that Pat Fox goes, Sean O'Gorman goes. It's John Fitzgibbon who touched that one down, but only as far as Declan Carr. And in was a tenacious Tony O'Sullivan, back in his own half-back line, towards Kevin Hennessy. Hennessy there against Noel Sheehy. Lovely pick up by John Kennedy, and he turned onto his left-hand side, beautifully swept away into the centre towards Declan Ryan. A strong man on the 40, back towards Declan Carr. Joe Hayes on his left-hand side, trying to cut back the deficit, but it tails away as he misdirects his shot. Quarter of an hour gone, and Cork lead by 3 points to 1. Joe Hayes going back, trying to get the ball up onto his stick, but getting some assistance here from John Kennedy. Kennedy, who was out of activity for the last 12 weeks, for one club game. McGuckin. Here's Buckley. Wherever he runs, there's a Tipperary man. Fitzgibbon, all neat control in the boss. Swept inside towards Ger Fitzgerald, there against Bobby Ryan. Kevin Hennessy tried to make a diagonal run to isolate Bobby Ryan in front of goal, and it breaks for Mark Foley. And it's gone over the bar. Cork's 4th point, the first for Mark Foley. Perhaps Keating here, the manager, just thinking of a couple of switches, and John Lahey has come out onto the half-forward line. Here's Conal Bonner. Lovely pick-up. Good stylish play across towards Conor Stakelum. Stakelum, who's got tips only points so far, and now he's got another one. Well, an inspirational choice to play him at left half forward. Firing well over on that left-hand side. David Quirk. Driving it in towards the inside forward, Ger Fitzgerald. Again trying to steal inside, Bobby Ryan. And again the defence in trouble of Ken Hogan. And the goalkeeper comes to their rescue, and it's Noel Sheehy who completes the clearance. But Ger Fitzgerald is causing untold problems over at right corner forward. Well, Ken Hogan has made some very fine saves in his time, many of them of a very spectacular nature. This one was more of an interception, being in the right place at the right time, as Ger Fitzgerald was coming through, having beaten Bobby Ryan. The goalkeeper doing well, may have come off his legs, and Noel Sheehy swept it away from danger. Free in for holding, so an opportunity for Tipperary then to cut the deficit to just a solitary point. Michael Cleary going to be the taker. Who's been outstanding form at club level lately, and he's cut it back to just a 1 point position, 4 points to 3, with his first point of the afternoon.
Come on, Pat.
So 10 minutes to go to half-time. Quite a low-scoring match. Cork still leading by 4 points to 3. Looking for the opening goal as Ken Hogan comes out and makes a fine save. That's a great piece of goalkeeping. Nothing flashy about it, but good solid style. A fine catch and a good delivery as he looked up to spot Joe Hayes in the space. John Considine. He's doing well at right corner back. Sarsman against Conor Stakelum. Two of the players who would not have experienced Munster final day activity in the past. Shawnee McCarthy. John Kennedy, beaten by Mark Foley. The tall man trying to make his presence felt, and doing so with a vengeance. He's got his second point, and Cork extend their lead to 5 points to 3. I wonder just whether the team manager is now considering, in consultation with his fellow selectors, a possible switch inside. He's also had a few problems to contend with in defence, it must be said. Joe Hayes. Again, the Cork defence committing themselves. Two men going for that one ball, and they were lucky to get away with it. Dennis Walsh gets it out into the centre. David Quirk here, the Middleton youngster, who might well be happier back in a half-back position. But making his presence felt in the attack just now, and he boots it high and he's put it over the bar. A first point in the game for David Quirk, a 6th point for Cork. And the side who were rank outsiders going into the contest, in this the 29th clash between these counties in a Munster hurling final. He was racing past Paul Delaney, and finally he resorted to the boot to belt it over Ken Hogan's crossbar. Back live, however. It's a goal! Michael Cleary has put the sides on level terms. Straight from the puck out. The sides on level terms. The goal by Michael Cleary after 28 minutes of the first half. John Kennedy waits, collects, delivering with the hand to John Lahey. Kieran McGuckin tries to close it down, but forlornly as Lahey has put it over the bar. Gets his first point, and Tip go in front for the first time in the match. That after 29 minutes. So that's a goal and a point now for Tipperary in the space of a minute. Hayes once again, the architect of so much of their good play from midfield. He's certainly providing the ammunition. Nicky English, little off colour in the opening 30 minutes. Showing some speed now. And showing his class from the 45-metre line. Gets his first point. And now 4 of the Tipperary forward line has scored in the game. Tipperary now in flowing style. Watches English, picked it up on the left-hand side, raced across, ahead there of Dennis Walsh. Lobbed it over the bar, and that's now a goal and 3 points in the last couple of minutes. Declan Carr doing well. Dennis Walsh coming out, blocked down by Nicky English, who now seems to have moved into the centre, playing it full forward against Dennis Walsh. Having just got a point a minute ago. English raiding once more, stopped on the goal line by Ger Cunningham. Out to Sean O'Gorman. Flash of the ash in the middle of the field. Turning out to be a tremendous Munster Championship tie. Pat Buckley injured, so too John Madden. Tip under pressure. Ger Fitzgerald trying to stop John Kennedy, the team captain, coming out with the ball. Out over the sideline, and that's going to be a Cork sideline ball. Declan Ryan. Declan Carr. Lobbed in dangerously, and it's gone in. It got a touch, I think, from Nicky English. Well, he may have been subdued for the opening 30 minutes of this tie, but he's really made his presence felt in the last 5 minutes or so. Declan Carr floated in a beauty. Watch for English as it dropped in, just getting the touch and directing it outside Ger Cunningham and in. David Quirk. Stopped by John Madden. Tip looking a much more confident side now. Kieran McGuckin. Whipped in beautifully. Cork needing a score, and they've got it from Mark Foley. But is it inside the square? It isn't. It's a goal. Yes, a goal. A goal by Mark Foley in injury time in the first half. McGuckin dropped it in beautifully. Watch as they rose up for it here, and it was Foley who got that final contact. The end of a pulsating first half. Brendan O'Sullivan breaking up the stalemate for Cork. Cross towards John Madden. Runs on towards Tony O'Sullivan, who got the first point of the match in the first half, and he's looking for the first point of the second half. And that he's got after just 19 seconds. Oh, Babs Keating will have hatched plans, but knows very well that you cannot take anything lightly in a match involving Cork in a Munster final. John Madden whipping it away, only as far as John Fitzgibbon. Comes out to Tony O'Sullivan, tidy and economical, and he has the style and the subtlety to strike a second point. 2 attacks, both to Tony O'Sullivan, both points, sides level. Donald Bonner. This is Conor Stakelum. Good pace, good control, good vision as well, into English. And Tip are in front again. Nicky English now the scorer of a goal and 2 points in this tie. What a lovely ball forward, great catch ahead of Dennis Walsh. And then did the sensible thing. Mark Foley doing well against John Kennedy. Tony O'Sullivan turning this way and that. Finally against Bobby Ryan, he lobs it in towards John Fitzgibbon. John Madden touching it and it's swept in. It's a goal for John Fitzgibbon of Cork. A second Cork goal. And the Rebels go back in front. 5 minutes into the second half, Tony O'Sullivan again held it up nicely, lobbed it across. Madden was in some trouble. Watch as it came down, and Fitzgibbon kept his eye on it, waited for the mistake, and whipped it in past Ken Hogan. Cork ahead by 2 points. Mark Foley. A point. That's a goal and 3 points now for the man in the 40. The gentle giant of Cork hurling puts 3 points between the teams. It's 4 years since Cork last won the Munster title. Once again into John Fitzgibbon, a second goal maybe for him. Stopped by Ken Hogan, and a combination of Hogan and Madden denying John Fitzgibbon of Cork. Well, it was so near a second goal for John Fitzgibbon and a third for Cork. Joe Hayes. Tip really putting their title on the line here in this match. Dennis Walsh. Joe Hayes lets it run through his hands to Mark Foley. Whipped in towards Tony O'Sullivan. Conor Bonner trying to get tight on O'Sullivan, who scored 2 points and contributed a goal as well. That one which John Fitzgibbon scored. And he's got a point. This is really an all-star type performance by Tony O'Sullivan. He got 5 points when the sides last met in a Munster final. That was 1988. He's done it again today. And we're only 7 minutes into the second half. That was a lovely point, well struck from way out the field. So can Colin Bonner here make a difference? 4 points between the teams. Michael Cleary will be the free taker. Tip fans looking on nervously and anxiously. Beautifully dropped in towards Nicky English. Again he does well. Showing good athletic style and a deadly finish. He's now scored a goal and 4 points. Stopped by John Kennedy, but Mark Foley gets there ahead of him. And Mark Foley puts it over the bar. The best game he's ever played, surely, at senior level. That's a goal now and 4 points for the Timor League man, 23 years of age, making his Munster final debut. Joe Hayes, Jim Cashman. It's a real test for Tip's skill and character once again, but they've not been found wanting in the past. John Madden towards Michael Cleary's wing. Dennis Walsh over there, Jim Cashman coming to his assistance. John Kennedy under the dropping ball there with Kevin Hennessy, who outfields him, just played inside towards Mark Foley. He's having one of the games of his life. Mark Foley has scored a goal and 5 points, and I don't think I've ever seen him play a senior match better than this. He's opened up a 6-point gap with a quarter of an hour gone in the second half. Mark Foley is really making his presence felt, holding off those tackles with ease and with comfort, and he slots it over the bar effortlessly. The chants are from Cork now, from their fans, and Tip will have to get behind their men if they're to hold on to their Munster title. Good rumbustious run forward by Stekeland towards Nicky English, most things targeted towards him. That's Cleary, and that's a point. A good example of a player feeding well off the leader of the attack, and now they've cut it back to just a 4-point difference. Stekeland did well, got it forward as far as Nicky English, realised that he needed support, and Cleary was there to feed off him and drop it over the crossbar. Michael Cleary now with a goal and 3 points in the game. Bobby Ryan, Joe Hayes. Neat pick up by John Lahey, got through 2 defenders. Joe Hayes again. Declan Ryan looking his first point of the afternoon, and an important one. It comes with 16 minutes to go, and Tip have cut it back to just a 3-point difference, a goal between the teams. Hayes very much involved in the build-up. Anthony O'Sullivan against Paul Delaney. A dummy sold and a dummy bought. The Cork substitute taps it in. Hogan, with the sun in his eyes, does really well. Loses the baseball cap, but that's a good save. Not such a long clearance, but Colin Bonner comes to his assistance. He's dispossessed by Kevin Hennessy, however. John Kennedy striving to get it out, but on as far as Anthony O'Sullivan, who started all of that. Whipped in finally, but not such a good pull by Ger Fitzgerald. And again, it's Colin Bonner, solid and dependable, linking up with the other wing-back, Paul Delaney, and Tip breathe a sigh of relief yet again. Michael Cleary, beaten by Jim Cashman, and that's going to be a sideline goal. It's magnificent entertainment. "12 minutes to go. Brendan O'Sullivan. Remember, Cork leading by 3 points. This is Colin Bonner. Oh, there was a dangerous pull there by Shawty McCarthy on Colin Bonner. And the referee calling back Cork's number 5 as Colin Bonner was going through. Weariness and tiredness, but it's really no excuse. Michael Cleary, the free taker. Dropped safely over the crossbar. There are just 2 between them. And Cork are getting ready. Cathal Casey. Cathal, who can play midfield or even in the half-forward line. So Pat Buckley comes off, so it's going to be, I think, a midfielder for a midfielder. Cork, I think, were worried about the impression that Colin Bonner was making. And it'll be Cathal Casey, who's just come in as a sub to take his first sideline cut. And a bad one at that, straight to Paul Delaney. But on a day when things are going pretty well for Cork, He takes the return and puts it over the bar. And Casey has scored a point within seconds of coming on. And there are 3 between them again. Cathal Casey against Colin Bonner, but it's Bonner who wins the battle of the midfield substitutes. Getting by Jim Cashman. Blocked down by Shawnee McCarthy. Back to Michael Cleary. And again, a fine shot by Michael Cleary. He's slotting the ball effortlessly over the crossbar. Anthony O'Sullivan bats it back in. The leaguered stations back there. A real backs to the wall situation as Bobby Ryan clears it out for Tipperary. Out towards Conor Stakelum, picked up by Michael Cleary instead. Up to Nicky English. And the leader of attack again. Getting a point. And now there is just a point between the teams. That's a goal and 4 points now, which Nicky English has contributed. He's getting there ahead of Sean O'Gorman whenever that ball is played up to him, and he really is causing havoc. Colin Bonner breaks it back. It's 2:14 to 2:13 in what has turned out to be one of the great Munster finals. Touchdown towards Jim Cashman, towards Anthony O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan against Paul Delaney. Off the legs of Colin Bonner. Cork just a little tentative, waiting as Mark Foley picks it up, lobs it high and puts it over the bar. He's got a goal and 6 points. Cork's leading scorer in the game. They've certainly displayed tremendous heart and no little skill, really testing the mettle of the Munster and All-Ireland champions. It's all to play for. This is John Fitzgibbon, intercepted brilliantly by John Madden as it was en route towards Kevin Hennessy. Hennessy picks it up nonetheless. John Fitzgibbon to Mark Foley. Oh, can he seal it with another goal? It's denied. It's a goal! It's a goal! 2 goals for Mark Foley. 2 goals and 6 points. Of an amazing tally of 315. The fans celebrate. Joyous moment for Cork fans. Well, they took some time to feed it in. Ken Hogan initially stopping, and finally it was Foley who got it in. Is there a reply? English blocked down by Sean O'Gorman. Out by Conor Stakelum. Out as far as John Lahey. Tip Needing scores, and Lahey provides one of those. A tense, nervous, at times brilliant Munster final. And Gerald McCarthy here is rousing up the forward line. Anthony O'Sullivan picks it up for the Cork men. Are they to regain the Munster title for the first time since 1986? Tip, who beat them in that classic match in 87 following a replay. And now it's Fitzgibbon. Can this seal it? Oh yes! A second goal for John Fitzgibbon. That now as surely as that. Is there a Tip response, or is it all too late? The defence in a dither, and this Cork forward line has really had the Tipperary backline in trouble time and again in this match, and that was Fitzgibbon with his second goal. John Madden, Mark Foley, who's had an absolute stunning afternoon, and he effortlessly puts over what is his second goal and 6 points. 2 goals and 7 points, I should say, for Mark Foley. An incredible tally. They're ready to celebrate. It's all over. A stunning victory for Cork, displaying courage, tenacity, skill, and an undying will to win, battling against all predictions. The cup is presented to Kieran McGuckin.
The revival of Cork fortunes after a 4-year lapse in Munster, setting them up for a meeting with Antrim in the All-Ireland semi-finals. And both were played on the first Sunday in August, and neither really took off as a contest. Antrim were the first to crumble against the Cork firepower, with John Fitzgibbon, Tony O'Sullivan and Ger Fitzgerald doing most of the damage.
Beautiful day here in Croke Park. Very cloudy and overcast, but beautiful for hurling as John Fitzgibbon opens the account for Cork, and that comes after just 35 seconds of play. This is David Quirk. On to Brendan O'Sullivan in space. Tony O'Sullivan to his left. This is O'Sullivan. The Piercing man high and straight over the bar. His first point of the match, Cork scored, and certainly Cork playing well at the moment. This is Brendan O'Sullivan, and he cut inroads from the Antrim defence. Still Brendan O'Sullivan, with good work by the Antrim defence. Cork maintaining the challenge. It comes out to Tony O'Sullivan in space, and you cannot give a man from the Piercing that sort of opportunity. His third point of the match after 14 and a half minutes of play. Jim Cashman trying to find the point scorer. Ger Fitzgerald knocks it down to Tomás Mulcahy. Good intelligent ball to John Fitzgibbon, trying to get inside Gary O'Kane. Fitzgibbon, it must be. Yes, indeed. Great score for John Fitzgibbon, which will surely please his uncle Kevin Cashman, a well-known journalist with the Sunday Tribune. And I think Fitzgibbon, a marvellous goal for Cork. So 9 points between the sides. Niall Patterson's long puck out inside the Cork 45-metre line. Well pulled on by Tomás Mulcahy. Down to Ger Fitzgerald, having a right-hold battle with Tessie Donnelly. That is a marvellous effort by Ger Fitzgerald. 3 points for Ger Fitzgerald. Remember, Cork leading by 7 points. And Antrim will be hoping for better reward from their forwards in the next 35 minutes. John Fitzgibbon showing some lovely skill. That's a superb finish. John Fitzgibbon with a tally now of a goal and 2 points to his credit. And Glen Rovers will be very proud of him. Niall Patterson's puck out. Kieran McGuckin leaves it behind him, and then he gets it. Again aimed at Fitzgibbon. Definitely has the beating of this Antrim defence as John Fitzgibbon tears through. He's straight through. Bullet! Oh, great goal! John Fitzgibbon, a man indeed in the past who has toured the Amazon, the Middle East, a real traveller by trade, and he's travelled perfectly through the Antrim defence. And just watch this for skill. No problem whatsoever to the Glen Rovers man. And really, Niall Patterson, God help him, he had no chance. Great goal.
Cork's margin at the finish was 10 points, but it was difficult to assess their final prospects based on that performance. Next on stage were the hurlers of Offaly and Galway, but that one was really settled by half-time. Offaly had left their form behind them in the Leinster Championship, and it took just 3 of the Galway forwards to see them off: Joe Cooney, Michael McGrath and Éineann Ryan.
Joe Cooney trying to add to Galway's tally of 3 points. Éineann Ryan, who got 2-1 last year against Tipperary in this semi-final. Again, Eugene Coughlin has broken a hurley. No lane without his. But a man very much with his is Michael McGrath, and he makes the most of it. Galway's 4th point, Michael McGrath's first. Jerry McInerney, so much in command in that sector of the field. Here he is once again. Michael Coleman, the dominant force at midfield so far. Michael McGrath up towards Noel Lane, again trying to link up with the other forwards. Joe Cooney on this occasion. Textbook play, really. Joe Cooney's third point. No Lane made it happen for him, but there was involvement from the other players as well. That's when it came back from Lane, back to Cooney, and he was inch perfect. Roy Mannion coming across to cover. Good burst forward. Joe Cooney once again the target, and on target. That's 4 points now for Joe Cooney, just one of those coming from a free. Galway in a very commanding position. He just needs half a chance. That was created by Pat Malone to Joe Cooney, the team captain, who said thank you very much, and over it sailed. Johnny Pilkington, Tony Keady, Jerry McInerney, who joined that half-back line in 1986 for his first semi-final. He's done well defensively, but his distribution leaving a little bit to be desired. And that's Declan Pilkington, trying to make the most of the chance. Back in, towards Mark Corrigan, looking for support. Dáithí Regan. They need a few scores just to boost the confidence, and that's one. Offaly's second point has come in the 29th minute. Well, Dáithí Regan, who plays his club hurling here in Dublin, and he's done well. Finity towards Noel Lane, runs on towards Éireann O'Ryan, kicking and scoring. The goal's first game comes from the boot of Éireann O'Ryan in the 32nd minute. 2-1 was his tally last year in the Championship. He always seems to score. Today playing his fourth All-Ireland hurling semi-final. And that's now 5 goals and 5 points that he scored in semi-final ties. Laid inside for him, and he found the net well.
Cyril Farrell content enough with a 9-point margin at half-time. It was sufficient to cruise past Offaly in the end, but a lot of squandered opportunities would be worrying to him as he looked towards the final. And what a tremendous contest that turned out to be. So let's see it now. Cork against Galway in the 1990 decider.
Magnificent welcome for the Munster champions, seen as outsiders for the title, but with 8 of the team that beat Galway in the 1986 final in action. And now another deafening ovation for Galway. The Western fans acclaimed the favourites for this All-Ireland hurling title. A Galway team featuring in the final, remember, for the 5th time in 6 years. Cyril Farrell, the team manager and coach. What a tremendous record he's had. Tach den och roin in ish, agus deshe ger bull lesh na foidne Morris Ganochta. John Moore from County Waterford, the 40-year-old official in charge of his first All-Ireland final, performing the toss. Fourth Waterford man to referee an All-Ireland hurling final, John Moore. He performed with great credit, I thought, in this year's Munster final. Game is underway, the first hurling final of the 1990s. Sean McCarthy, the wing-back for Cork, one-handed, but only as far as Michael McGrath to set up a Galway chance early. Slightly off balance as he was hitting that one. Coleman under the dropping ball, but it breaks down towards Mark Foley, prodded forward towards John Fitzgibbon. A chase on here. Coleman going back, missed by Dermot Fahy. Sean Tracy coming up from his full-back position, but it set up a chance. A goal by Kevin Hennessy! A goal after 48 seconds by Kevin Hennessy! One of the fastest goals in an All-Ireland final. John Fitzgibbon prodded it forward. It was missed by the fullback, and Kevin Hennessy rifled it in. So a confident start by the Munster champions. Galway set to reply with Joe Cooney over the bar. Cooney gives the leadership, and he struck that one over with effortless ease. The omens are certainly good. Teddy McCarthy taking it with his left hand. Back in the team, grouped well by Martin Nocton. He follows up, however. Tries the shot from way out the field. 2 attacks for Cork, 2 scores. Teddy McCarthy's first attempt at a score, 1-1 to a point. Kieran McGuckin trying to hold off his man. Anthony Cunningham getting in the pass inside. Whipped away by McGuckin once again. First time hurling by Cork. Up towards John Fitzgibbon. Player who set up the goal for Kevin Hennessy. Pursued by Dermot Fahy. Turns on his right hand side. And he's put it over the bar. Having a very, very good season indeed, John Fitzgibbon. Player who was omitted for the final 4 years ago, having played in the earlier stages of that championship. Cork winning the early exchanges in their own half-back line. Tony O'Sullivan against Tony Keady. The dancing legs of Tony O'Sullivan. Pass inside, followed up. Tomas Mulcahy, the team captain, causing consternation. Sean Tracy equal to it. Breaks back down to him. A good clearance by Tracy out of defence, but the Cork attack applying pressure on that Galway full back line already in the opening 6 minutes of this match, and a misunderstanding there. 2 players getting in one another's way, Tony Keady and Pat Malone. Galway have really yet to settle down in this game. The greater urgency coming from Cork in these opening minutes. Ollie Kilkenny, who won't want to see Cork settle down too much into this match. You remember what happened in this year's Munster final. Well, in the intensity of the run, Michael Coleman colliding with an official over there. Ooh, that hurt. Marvellous opening to this game. Michael Coleman. Brendan O'Sullivan, Joe Cooney. From fully 45 metres out, he was being sublimely optimistic, but rewarded accordingly. And Joe Cooney has got both of Galway's scores. Well, Cork have certainly set out their game plan. They're trying to unsettle this Galway team. Galway now are responding, however. Here's Michael Coleman again. Sean O'Gorman stopping it from Michael McGrath. Pete Finnerty. Delightfully cut up by Finnerty. Beautifully. Almost all the way, but stopped on the goal line by Ger Cunningham. Brilliantly taken into the arms. Anthony Cunningham looking for Cooney from a tricky angle, and he's got another one. The man they can always depend upon in a crisis situation. Not that they were anything near a crisis situation at this stage, but just to make sure that Cork didn't open up too much of a lead. Two points the margin. Directed towards Mark Foley and Tony Keady. Who's going to win that battle? Tony Keady says it's going to be me this afternoon. Great solo run, good jink, and a lovely score. It's a 1-point game. Keady scored 5 points the last time these sides met in the Well judged by Pat Malone, but he's left it there. Brought it forward, but only as far as Tony Keating. Now making his presence felt. Ollie Kilkenny likewise. Hand passed outside towards Jerry McInerney, but Teddy McCarthy was in quickly. Kilkenny, did he pick the ball off the ground? The referee said yes. Free to Cork. The Galway fans not agreeing with the referee's decision. Two points between the teams, remember. Kevin Hennessy, the free taker. He's got another. So a goal separating the sides, and there are 13 minutes gone in the first half. Joe Cooney again under the dropping ball in this non-stop All-Ireland final. Tony O'Sullivan racing across here with Pete Finnerty. Michael Coleman once more. Always in there to pick up half chances that might come his way. No lane. Set up brilliantly, and it's high and it's over the bar. A point by Noel Lane. I think he was making his mind up, and I have an idea he was going for a goal. He seemed to settle himself, and the shrug of the head there would indicate that he's not too pleased with the way it went over the bar. That's where he settled himself. The pick-up. Oh, definitely he was going for a goal. He gets a point, however. 2 points between the teams. Cork in front. Brendan O'Sullivan. Towards Ger Fitzgerald, it reaches Kevin Hennessy against Sean Tracy. Hennessy is doing well against Tracy, and that's ominous for Galway. He's got another point, a goal and 3 points. He's also picked up a little injury. We maybe can have another look at this. Having beaten Sean Tracy, that was the simplest of tap-overs for him. Obviously in the challenge before that he received a facial injury. Mark Foley towards Tomas Mulcahy. Jerry McInerney for Galway. Lovely darting run. Whipped forward towards Michael McGrath, not getting too much service so far in this game. Sean O'Gorman. Dermot Fahy, well caught. Down towards Ian O'Ryan, batted clear however. Sean O'Gorman. Long lengthy ball, again Fahy under the dropping slutter, and it's gone for a sideline ball. Well, we've had 11 scores so far. What's been a very entertaining final. Picked up here by Ger Fitzgerald, and it's over the bar. Ger Fitzgerald gets his first point this afternoon, easing Cork ahead into a 4-point lead. Sean O'Gorman clearing his lines. This is Martin Naughton. Angling for the shot, Naughton, brilliantly high and over the bar. A great score by Martin Naughton of Turlough. Pinning it back to a 1-goal differential once again. The injured player is Pete Finnerty. The injury picked up by Finnerty as he was contesting that ball over there with Tony O'Sullivan, and down he came rather awkwardly. It was an accidental challenge. Touched out by Jim Cashman. Down it comes to Pat Malone, dangerously inside to Cooney. Well, there was a gap for once, there is again. Still Joe Cooney, and he's kicked it in. The equaliser. A goal for Galway. 19 minutes gone in the first half, and the sides are level. Well, what a game he's played. A goal and 3 points, all from play. This was the kicked effort past Ger Cunningham. Pat Malone. Teddy McCarthy not making much headway. This is N.H.L yet to score. Trying to put that batter right in this glorious spell for Galway as they hit the front. Galway taking the lead for the first time in the match after 20 minutes. Tony Keating. Sean McCarthy driving it forward. Comes back to Tony Keating. This is a very good spell for Galway. They've weathered whatever pressure Cork have put at them so far. They've come back strongly. And in Cooney they've found a great leader of the attack. Tony O'Sullivan blocked down by the recovered Pete Finnerty to Joe Cooney on the 45-metre line. This looks like being Keating's or Cooney's final. Early stages to talk about anybody's final, but so far it's the final of Joe Cooney. You have to wonder whether Cork will make a switch on the marking duties assigned for the player on Joe Cooney. It's Jim Cashman at the moment. That's Dermot Fahy settling down well now, gaining in confidence. Matthew McGrath really coming way out to make some room for himself and set up an angle for Noel Lane. Oh, it's a good-looking shot and it's gone over the bar. Brilliantly struck. And again he looks a little unhappy with himself, feeling that maybe he might, with a little bit of luck, have had a goal. Galway fans happy enough to see it sailing in there into the path of Noel Lane, whipping on it well. Beautifully cut. 3 points the difference. Galway have turned it around completely. Tony O'Sullivan, ever a player to be able to lift this Cork attack. Teddy McCarthy. A good-looking shot from Teddy McCarthy, getting back into the game again and getting his second point. He's cut it back to a 2-point difference, to the delight of these Cork fans. Breaks on towards Michael McGrath. Pursued over there by Sean O'Gorman. Noel Lane looking very fit and alert. A high shot, and that's another beautiful point from Noel Lane. What a great servant of the game Noel Lane has been. Well, he started the 1980s on a high, now hoping to start the 1990s in a similar fashion. Here's Keating. Really hasn't given Mark Foley much of a chance in this match so far. Michael McGrath down towards Noel Lane, causing some problems, getting the scores. Dennis Walshire facing his own goal. Dispossessed by Cooney, leaving the pass inside, but it's not going to count. The goal by N.H.L doesn't count. The referee had whistled up. It's a free on the 20-metre line. The foul was on Cooney. Something somewhat similar happened in the minor final. The referee had blown the whistle as the foul on Cooney here was committed, and there was no advantage for Ryan. Joe Cooney with a goal and 4 points to his credit this afternoon. Make it a goal and 5. Restoring Galway's 4-point advantage. A switch in the Cork full back line. Sean O'Gorman is now in marking Noel Lane. Dennis Walsh is out at cornerback. Whipped into the centre, picked up however by Martin Naughton, a direct and pacey player. Good finishing as well, and he illustrates that by putting it over the bar from outside the 45-metre line. That's Martin Naughton's second point. Fully and truly recovered from injury. aside the last 5 minutes of this first half, which has been all action. A huge score put up by Galway, 1-12, and a very impressive score by Cork as well, 1-7. Here's Joe Cooney trying to pick his spot, and he strikes it over brilliantly. Hit with unflagging composure. Very much the man of this match so far. Peter Finnerty calling. Pursued by Tomás Mulcahy. Sideline ball. McGuckin's cut in high, and it's run over the bar. A kind of inspirational strike that Cork has needed. The referee signals for the end of a very exciting first 35 minutes. Kevin Hennessy, goal for Cork after 48 seconds. Cork held the early advantage, playing with great tenacity and no little style, but Galway came back in devastating fashion. A goal and 6 points, the tally credited to Joe Cooney, and Galway lead at half-time, 1-13 to Cork's 1-8. Second half poised to get underway. John Moore from County Waterford, first Waterford official for 45 years to handle an All-Ireland hurling final. Cork playing from right to left for the second half. Same pairing at midfield. The jostling for positions at the start of this second half. Remember, it's 1-13 to 1-8. Galway the leaders. Tony O'Sullivan to set up the first attack of this second half. Stopped by Dermot Fahy. Out towards Anthony Cunningham, taking it in his stride, going past Kieran McGuckin. Ger Cunningham making the save. Always signalling their intentions. Good catch by Mark Foley. Now can Cork get him into the game? Lobbed inside towards John Fitzgibbon. A noted goal poacher. Comes down. A good chance. Has gone a-begging. Fitzgibbon again. Well, the chance was there for just a minute for Ger Fitzgerald. It's gone for a 65. Fitzgibbon very much the man involved in that attack. Ger Fitzgerald had the opportunity when that ball came back, but came back badly for him. Fitzgibbon then followed up, came off the defender, off Dermot Fahy. Jim Cashman to take the 65 for Cork. Trailed by 5 points. Lobbed in. Keady getting it out. Followed up here by Pete Finnerty. Towards Michael McGrath. Dennis Walsh watches that as it comes off his stick down to Kieran McGuckin. High one inside towards Kevin Hennessy. Hennessy with the ball in his hands. A goal opportunity perhaps. It's stopped by John Commons brilliantly on the goal line, and it's gone over the sideline for another 65. That was an excellent save by goalkeeper John Commons. And he's made some very good saves in All-Ireland finals in the past. Might feel a concern or two about the goal that went by him in the opening minute, but he did well on this occasion. Down it came, and Commons was there to get the second save as well. Jim Cashman with his second 65 of the half, which is just 2 minutes old. Failing to provide the opening point, however, of the second 35 minutes. Jim Cashman then against Joe Cooney. It breaks down to Michael McGrath. McGrath looking for a score, and McGrath provides the first point of the second half, his first point in the game. So it's a 6-point difference once again. Michael Coleman. Dermot Fahy getting the pass forward. Pete Finnerty. Not hit so well on his left-hand side, but it reaches Joe Cooney. Stopped by Dennis Walsh. Michael Coleman. Oh, bad pass by Michael Coleman, but he follows it up. Things going very nicely for Galway, and this is Anthony Cunningham, the only one of the forwards yet to score, and he's put it right. The two men who hadn't scored in the first half, McGrath and Cunningham, have now scored at the start of the second half, and Galway enjoy a 7-point lead. Lobbed into John Fitzgibbon, having to come out to contain that ball. This is Tomás Mulcahy, 45 metres out, providing Cork's first point of the second half. Anthony Cunningham trying to link up inside here with Éireann O'Ryan. Éireann, whose point in the first half gave Galway the lead on the 20th minute. A lead they have not surrendered since then. Seanie McCarthy, Michael Coleman standing in isolation in midfield, way out, and he's put it over the bar. Well, a remarkable score coming in a moment of intuitive skill from Michael Coleman, endearing himself to these Galway fans at the canal end. Finnerty and Keady leaving it behind to Tomás Mulcahy. Takes a tumble, tripped by Dermot Fahy on the 20-metre line. The number 2 conceding the free as the two wing backs, Finnerty and Keady, following the ball all the way, collided in their efforts to get it. Kevin Hennessy with his side behind. I wonder would he consider going for a goal in this, the 7th minute of the second half. He's content with a point. That's a goal and 4 points now in the match for Kevin Hennessy. Joe Cooney unable to hold on to that ball. It reaches Martin Naughton. The two wing forwards coming more and more into this game for Galway in the second half. And Martin Naughton has now got a 3rd point to add to the 2 he scored in the opening 35 minutes. So the Galway fans, I'm sure, dreaming about taking the McCarthy Cup back west of the Shannon yet again. It would be the 3rd time in 4 years, remember. Tomás Mulcahy now in there against Tony Keady, but it's Jerry McInerney who realises that the man in the centre of the half-back line might be in a bother, coming across to make the clearance to Michael Coleman, steadying himself. Long ball, goalkeeper having to come from his goal line and be absolutely secure. He's driven it way up into the air, the breeze carrying it on. Runs on towards Tomás Mulcahy, in the clear, a Cork goal perhaps, yes! 4 points the margin yet again. Tomás Mulcahy, a goal after 9 minutes of the second half. He got that goal in a million in the 86 final against Galway. He came in well and drove it in beyond John Cummins. Waiting for the breaking ball was Mulcahy. This the score which Cork fans will delight in seeing. It's brought them back into the match. So in front of 63,900, a match to remember so far. Pete Finnerty up towards Noel Lane, isolated. Dennis Walsh had to be decisive. It breaks down to Martin Naughton. A goal chance for Galway now. Oh yes, it's gone wide. It's gone off the goalkeeper who's made a brilliant save. Martin Naughton had a glorious chance in the 12th minute of the second half. Watch for Ger Cunningham. He had to be brave, courageous and decisive. He got there. An injury picked up by Ger Cunningham in making that save. This was the angle as we watch Martin Naughton going forward to confront Ger Cunningham, who'd be a goalkeeper. It came off his face. Came off his face, it should have been a 65, but the outcome seems to be a puck out for Cork. Tony Keady, great catch again by Keady. He made one particularly memorable one in the first half, but he's given it away to Tony O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan has put it over the bar to cut it back to a goal difference. That's his first point of the match. It's 117 to 211. Galway leading by 3. Once again, the fans rallying and cheering both sides, realising that the outcome of this final is very much in the balance. Anthony Cunningham, Dennis Walsh, switch back into full back for the second half, and he's doing well against Noel Lane. Lane, who really starred in the opening 35 minutes. Ger Fitzgerald unable to keep that ball in play. It's going to be a Galway sideline ball. Ollie Kilkenny. This is Mark Foley, sending in a high one, and he's put it over the bar. A point by Mark Foley, his first of the match. The tall Timor League man, 6'5" tall, and today playing in what is just his 6th championship match. 2 points the difference. Galway continue to be the leaders, as they've been since the 20th minute of the first half. This is Joe Cooney. Pat Malone. A worrying time this for Galway, I feel. They'll have to make sure that they don't allow Cork the initiative. Cork likewise trying to press forward their advantage and take the scores and the chances that are coming their way. Once again, Mulcahy providing the leadership. A rasping shot, but it's gone wide. Some exchange of words there between Tomás Mulcahy and Tony Keady. Jim Cashman bats it down. He's doing well in the second half. Shawnee McCarthy was ready to whip onto it, but the pass came back rather awkwardly to Anthony Cunningham. Stopped, but the ball had gone out over the sideline. The umpire decides, despite the best intentions of goalkeeper Ger Cunningham, it's a 65. So the sub has come in, and that is Tom Monaghan. Tom Monaghan, a player who replaces the midfielder Pat Malone. And I know they have great faith in this Tom Monaghan. He scored 3 points against London in the opening round of the championship, and many people felt he was hard done by to lose out for the semi. Keady the taker. It's a poor one. Michael Coleman inevitably waiting for the pieces to come his way to set up an attack for Tom Monaghan. Blocked down brilliantly by Conall Casey, followed up by Teddy McCarthy, yet to make a real impression in this final. Monaghan once more does have to press home his claims for inclusion from now on. Casey trying to kick the ball away. Cooney. It reaches Monaghan once again. That must be the third time in this attack, but finally it's gone wide. That is Galway's 6th wide of the second half, and their 15th in all. Two points the difference, remember. Nearly 20 minutes gone in the second half. Jerry McInerney making another memorable catch. Jim Cashman, however, reading his intentions. Really solidly holding this half back line together, Jim Cashman. Ger Fitzgerald towards Kevin Hennessy, but there was no way he was going to be able to contain that pass. The game is there to be won and lost now inside the last 15 minutes. Joe Cooney inside towards Noel Lane, blocked down by Jim Cashman. Cashman got back really well, showed great commitment. Out to Tomás Mulcahy, Cork's goal scorer in the second half, towards Kevin Hennessy, who got their goal in the first. Rounding Sean Tracy with some ease into Mark Foley. Oh, it's a goal! Cork go back in front. set up Foley, and he finished with great assurance. Now it really is a test of Galway's character and resolve. Joe Cooney blocked down by Jim Cashman. Cooney once again runs into a stern shoulder, shrugs off that shoulder, but he's put it wide. But he's very much leading on his own at this stage in the match. He had a marvellous first half in which he scored a goal and 6 points, but he hasn't scored in the second half so far. This was the goal again. Kevin Hennessy takes much of the credit, but what about that for a brilliantly slot home goal? Tom Monaghan. Worrying time for Cyril Farrell as he makes his way off the field over there, having a quick word with one of his players. On it comes to N.H.L. looking for the equaliser. It's over the bar. Galway back on level terms once again. A second point for N.H.L. Oh, what a game this has really turned out to be. 22 minutes into the second half, Cyril Farrell up on his feet. The team manager, a manager has inspired them in the past, but I think at this stage he's saying, Phelim, you get up, you do something, try to rally them. Teddy McCarthy. Cork eagerly looking for another score. Can McCarthy provide it? He certainly can. 3 points for Teddy McCarthy. In attack, he's been absolutely brilliant. He's taken his 3 chances in style. Cork fans would probably wish to see him dominate a bit more in midfield. Now playing at left half forward on Peter Finnerty. Cathal Casey, the one who's taken over his role at midfield. In nips Peter Finnerty. You don't give half chances like that to Finnerty. Up towards Noel Lane. Dennis Walsh lying on the ground. Noel Lane going through. High and over the bar. The tension of this occasion. It's 22 points apiece. 313, Galway's 119. Jerry McInerney can't hold on to it. It's Mark Foley going forward again. Having difficulty getting in a clear-cut shot, however. A little disappointed with himself. Cork now, however, being given chances by this Galway defence in the second half. I'm not quite sure what Gerald McCarthy and Father Michael O'Brien said to Cork at half-time, who trailed by 5 points. But now here they are level. And we have just got 11 minutes to go. Ger Fitzgerald. Tom Monaghan in there trying to restrict him with Jerry McInerney. Brilliantly again by Jerry McInerney. Up to Martin Naughton. Martin Naughton looking so pacey and so decisive, but overhitting that pass just a little bit. Cut out. Sean O'Gorman, not a good clearance. Reaches Anthony Cunningham. O'Gorman once again taking his chance this season, showing great style. Down towards Kevin Hennessy, a brilliant catch by Sean Tracy. Closed down somewhat. Out by Ollie Kilkenny, out to the waiting Michael Coleman. Steadying himself as always. Intended for Noel Lane, it reaches Dennis Walsh instead, but Noel Lane, persistent. Showing great style, great determination. Blocked down on this occasion by Jim Cashman. This is Dennis Walsh. This is a great game. In over the heads of the half-backs, but Ollie Kilkenny is waiting, and with great determination and no little style, he gets it out. Michael Coleman follows it up. Cathal Casey for Cork. Tony O'Sullivan. Wholehearted commitment being shown by 2 sets of players. A wild pull there by Dermot Fahey and John Fitzgibbon, penalised by the referee, who's handled this match in very impressive fashion. The big cheer you hear in the background, which the referee is just noting, is that Brendan Linsky is in for Galway. Whenever Galway are in a crisis situation, you can depend upon them calling on the big-hearted Brendan Linsky. He's in place of Anthony Cunningham. Sides level. 9 minutes to go. Jim Cashman with this free on the 65-metre line. It's wide. So near and yet so far. The rearrangement of the Galway full forward line. Noel Lane and Brendan Linsky are playing, it seems like, twin full forwards. Jim Cashman. it goes to Cathal Casey. Ger Fitzgerald against Jerry McInerney. They've had a great duel. Great run. The layback to Mark Foley, scorer of that goal, which brought Cork right back into it. Missed. John Fitzgibbon. It's a goal! A goal by John Fitzgibbon. His 5th goal of the All-Ireland series. A goal and a point by John Fitzgibbon. There were doubts about that Galway full-back line before the match, and Cork have punished some of the lapses that have come their way. Watch this. The defence was caught in a dither, and there was a solid finish by John Fitzgibbon. Cork lead by a goal. 8 minutes remaining. A team of no-hopers, virtually, at the start of this championship, lead the favourites. Michael Coleman, anxious to respond now quickly. Played inside towards Noel Lane. Missed, however. Picked up by Noel Lane. Dispatched that side to N.H.L, looking for a goal. Blocked down. Sean O'Gorman was the one who got in the way, and Sean O'Gorman is the one who makes the clearance. What a pulsating All-Ireland final it is. Dermot Fahy. Beautiful hand pass inside by Tomás Mulcahy to Kevin Hennessy. The referee allows an advantage. Hennessy still going through. Inside towards John Fitzgibbon, a goal scorer just a moment ago. There's another one! Two goals by John Fitzgibbon in the place of a minute and a half. The Cork fans can barely believe it. Cork lead by 6 points, 2 clear goals. The hero of the hour, John Fitzgibbon. An amazing comeback. Behind by 5 points at half-time, but they never lost heart. It's not over by any manner of means. Jerry McInerney, it reaches Joe Cooney, scoreless in the second half. Ian O'Ryan, it's 2 against 1 bar the goalkeeper. Linsky's there too. That's 1 back for Galway. Brendan Linsky does the task, and there's a goal in it. A lovely pass, taken in his stride, dispatched with ease by Linsky. 29 minutes gone in the second half. You have to wonder, does any team deserve to lose this final? But it's there to be won and lost now in the last 6 minutes. Cork ahead by a goal. This is Cathal Casey. Stopped by Dermot Fahy. Picked up brilliantly by John Fitzgibbon, enjoying a great spell. And Tomás Mulcahy, the team captain, has put it over the bar. Cork lead by 4 points. He's had a terrific final, the team captain. The goals coming from Kevin Hennessy, 2 for John Fitzgibbon, 1 for Mark Foley and 1 for Tomás Mulcahy. That's David Quirk. Cork fans will be pleased to see his inclusion because he played well in an unfamiliar position for him during the Munster Championship at right half forward, but back now at his best position of left half back. The Cork switches have worked certainly in this game. Leading by 4 points, remember now. There are 3 minutes to go. David Quirk will take the free on his own 65-metre line. Cork has certainly made the most of their chances. In again, and this is Ger Fitzgerald being restrained. The referee allows an advantage, and the ball has gone wide. Cork fans in particular will have to live on their nerves just a little bit longer. But Galway people must be absolutely devastated. They were cruising away with this match for so long. But Cork's heart and commitment was not to be denied. Now, can Galway get themselves back in the match? That's 1 back for Martin Naughton. There's a goal in the match. 4 points now for Martin Naughton. A good contribution. Galway have to get possession here and set up an attack of their own if they're to stay in this match. John Fitzgibbon. It runs on to Tony O'Sullivan. It's looking very good for Cork as Tony O'Sullivan slots over his second point of the afternoon in this 103rd All-Ireland hurling final. 4 points the margin. Brendan Linsky trying to make his way through somehow against the tight marking Cork defence. A free on the 45-metre line. Surely they'll have to opt to lob this one in. There are 4 points between them. That's the tactic. In towards Noel Lane. It spills loose, however, and David Quirk makes a good clearance. Pete Finnerty. A sideline ball for Cork. It's been a terrific final, full of great commitment, great skill, but as I say it, a sideline ball that wasn't of the most distinguished nature, shall we say. It gives Galway possession. And Orion allowing the free to be taken by Joe Cooney. The subs waiting with Father Michael O'Brien there on the left-hand side of the picture. What a proud man he must be just now. But tense as well, waiting as a player he admires so much. Joe Cooney takes this free. Joe content to see that one come off the top of the crossbar and over the bar. A point for him in the second half, but it's been a disappointing half really. 1-7 his tally in all. But is he to finish on the losing side? Just a few seconds to go. The referee has a check on the watch. He's called time. Cork are the All-Ireland champions. A delighted Mark Foley, a delighted Tomas Mulcahy. The McCarthy Cup is on its way back to Leeside once again. The first part of a possible double has been achieved by an amazing display of heart, commitment, skill, and they win in the end by a goal, 5-15 to 2 goals and 21 points. What an All-Ireland final. It's a very proud moment indeed for Tomas Mulcahy, captain of Cork. The cup goes back to Leeside for the first time in 4 years. Galway has yet to beat Cork in a final.
Well, a year of surprises in hurling, but a year of triumph for Cork, who answered their critics in the best possible way. Their victory also laid the foundation for a cracking Munster Championship in 1991. But then, as we found out so often in the past, the Hurling Championship is always a guarantee of sporting drama. We hope that you enjoyed our review of the 1990 Championship. From all of us involved, bye-bye.